required to take a standardized test before? You have taken tests ever since elementary school, just to pass each grade and to even get into a college of your choice. Were you disappointed by your score when you got it back? Did you wish you could do something about it? Did you wish these tests didn't represent a large part of your overall knowledge in school, as you have always gotten good grades? After listening to my speech, I hope to persuade you in believing that when taking a standardized test, it doesn't make or break on how smart you are. Everyone that has taken this class currently has to take some sort of standardized test to be able just to get into the University of Findlay. You might have felt you could do better, or you were even disappointed of the score you got. With all the research I've done, I hope to convince you standardized testing doesn't determine on how smart you are. Testing has become a problem today, and you really can't avoid it. The first problem is it costs money to retake every time. According to the ACT website, the cost is $46 without writing and $62.50 with. According to the SAT website, it's $46 without writing and $60 with. Imagine paying that price just to have to retake it for a couple points different on your test. The second problem is it has negative side effects to standardized testing. There's a wide assortment of info that's on it that you might not have even studied for. According to Washington Post, there's an obsession with raising students is leading to a one-size-fits-all curriculum that ignores the needs of individual students. The third problem is it doesn't make you any smarter, and it doesn't determine on how smart you are. According to the New York Times, there's an article that talks about how states want to limit the use of state testing, and another article just says GPA should matter the most when applying to a college. There's solutions to problems that can better help us get these problems out of the way. The first is getting rid of testing completely, or second, just using the GPA requirement to get into a college. I can relate this own issue to my personal life. I've taken many tests that haven't showcased my ability. I graduated 30th in my class out of 150 kids and had a GPA of a 3.5. I've gotten a 20 on my ACT after taking it 3 times. This is when I realized that testing doesn't determine on how smart a person is. Next, I have survey questions that 10 people have responded to in our class. The first question I asked was, how many times did you take the SAT or the ACT? 66% responded with 1 to 2 times, and 33% responded with 3 to 4 times. Then I asked, when you got your results back, did you feel like they really showcased on how well you could do academic-wise? The majority of the class responded with, no, it doesn't. The second question I asked was, what kind of student were you in high school? 50% said honor student, which is all A's, and then another 50% said they were an A and B student. The fourth question was, do you like the idea of standardized testing? And the majority of the students said no. The final question I asked didn't really help me with my research, but I included it in here anyway. I said, did any of your teachers in high school prepare you for any kind of standardized testing? It was 50-50 with yes and no. Overall, many of you agree with the points that I've tried to make in my speech. Most of you pretty much said that testing isn't a good idea. It has proven from my research that standardized testing doesn't determine how smart you are. You want to be able to get into a college of your choice without worrying about constant struggle of not being able to perform well. We can stop the problem of not doing well in standardized testing by getting rid of them.
The audience.
And me.